We knew nothing about the business when starting it. We had no clients, we had no experience in consultancy, so we had to learn everything by ourselves.
How easy is it to build a business around LowCode? In today's podcast, we are in conversation with Julian Vincente, who is the CTO of Pinout Solutions based in Madrid, Spain. They are a company focused in low-code solutions on Zoho Creator.
What I've heard from friends, it took ages to develop any kind of applications. Low-code is allowing for citizen development, right? So anyone who doesn't really know a lot about coding can develop their own application. That's when the love story began with Zoho Creator.
Welcome, Julian. Welcome to this podcast.
Thank you very much, Miriam. It is a pleasure for me to be here. Thanks for inviting.
No problem. So we'll get started by knowing you a bit more. Could you tell a bit about your early life? Where did you grow up? What did you do?
Sure. So I was born in Madrid in 1986. Okay. So I went to high school and then I decided to go and study physics. Okay. I like math. And I guess that made sense for me at that time. I loved physics and the degree was 5 years. So after the degree, I didn't really know what to do, but I got the opportunity of starting a PhD in neuroscience and animal behavior. So my PhD lasted for 5 years and we did mathematical modeling of groups of animals, and also we did some epigenetic analysis about the behavior in larvae of zebrafish, because we recorded zebrafish. It was quite fun, and I had a great time. After that, I went to Lisbon, in which I did a 2-year postdoc. And after being that time in Lisbon, I felt that I needed to go back to Madrid and take a break from science because I didn't feel like going on with science at that time. So when I returned to Madrid, I was in conversation with one of my best friends, who's called Ignacio, and whom I met during my degree in physics. And by that time, he was trying to start a project with Jorge, our third colleague, and they were trying to create a business based on electronics, Internet of Things, and that stuff. But it turned out to be quite difficult. So we had a conversation one night, and he told me, we're seeing that the value of the solution sits really more on the software than on the hardware. And we're considering of trying to create a business based on software. Are you in? And I said, I really don't know what to do, but I know some things about logical thinking, some math, and I try to help people. So probably trying to create a business based on software to improve business processes made sense. So that's why we started Pinout Solutions.
Okay. That is quite an interesting journey from mathematics and physics and science to later to IT. So was that switch easy, or how was that?
It was not that easy, I guess, because the thing is that we knew nothing about the business when starting it. I don't know if we were too brave or too naive when starting that process. But the thing is we had to learn everything and we had no help, we had no clients, we had no experience in consultancy. So we had to learn everything by ourselves and had to fight against odds. And for that, this was really quite a strong process of really helping us create something completely from scratch, like low-code applications, right? So for us, everything made sense one step at a time. So my transition from science to business was also difficult in the sense that in science, projects are so long-term in the sense that, science is based on publications, like you submit to a journal and then it gets published. And it could take around 2-3 years to publish that. But when you are dealing with consultancy business, everything changes. The client wants the solution for yesterday and you need to have a deadline that it's around 2-3 months. It depends on the solution, of course. So for me, it was like, wow, I need to change completely my mentality. So it was quite a challenge for me at that point, but I think we managed every step of the way. Also, we started with low coding because I guess we are kind of developers in the sense that we all know how to code. I did a lot of coding in my PhD, and I also learned how to code during my degree. So it's like, okay, there are some things that can be automated using coding. So let's see where it goes.
Okay. So when you say in your degree you learned coding, in your maths and physics, there was a bit of coding also that was involved.
Yes. Well, actually, there were only 2 subjects dedicated to coding, but physics helped me a lot to build a logic mentality, in the sense that it helped me really solve problems. I remember that the 5 years of the degree, all the exams were basically problem solving. So that helps you really a lot when dealing with consultancy services, because as a consultant, you really need to understand the client and you need to know how to solve the problems. And for me, that became quite natural. And I think I learned a lot. Well, I stopped doing physics the moment I finished the degree, because when I went to neuroscience, I changed subjects a lot. But the degree helped me in reasoning, helped me in logical thinking. So that's something I'm going to use during my whole life. So in this sense, it made sense for me to do the transition to some consultancy services in which, as I was telling you, I need to solve problems for my clients.
Mm-hmm. Got it. So these 3 young, brave men, Ignacio, Jorge, and yourself, when was this? When did you start this company? And initially you mentioned you knew you wanted to do something related to computing, but how did you end up with LowCode or custom solution? Like, what was that journey like?
Well, it was actually a bit by chance, because at first we were looking for opportunities to try and start some business based on application development or process automation. We weren't really quite sure of where to go. But we got in touch with a friend. He was working for an academy, for college that helped give regular lessons for helping students. And they needed like a software solution to try and improve the control of their attendance, students, everything. And since we knew basically nothing, as I was telling you, it's like, okay, let's try and dig out where we can solve this kind of problem. So Jorge, he came across Zoho Creator, and that's we started investigating, and it's like, wow, we can really solve what they want using this technology. And that's when the love story began with Zoho Creator, I guess, because I didn't mention, sorry, but I met Ignacio during my degree in physics. He's like one of my best friends. And Ignacio met Jorge during a master's in electronic engineering. Okay, so they were 2 connected, and when they wanted to switch to software, that's when I came in, and then we started Pinout Solutions for this software solutions for our clients.
Okay, that's an interesting journey as well. So when you started LowCode, I just want to understand and see, do you remember that first instance where you came across the LowCode platform and you interacted with it, and that what was your feeling? Because you're someone who comes from a completely different background. So what was that first impression or interaction like?
So for me, it was fun in the sense that, okay, I can do things. This works like that. So as I mentioned before, I know how to code. So it's like, okay, then I can do some automations, but no. And I remember by that time, Zoho Creator was like in the C4 version. I think it was having like an online guide about step-by-step guide. And I was like, okay, let's try to do that and replicate it. And what if I add this line of code here? Does it change? So it's like a game, basically. And I felt quite natural to get to know everything. Of course, since it was my first time dealing with this kind of low-code solutions, I had to learn like a lot. I was like, so this is called a report, but what is a page? Why do we use pages for? And it's like, maybe that. So it was like a process of learning, as I was telling you, step by step.
Yeah.
And in general, it was like the impression that everything could be solved. And that the solutions were being basically created from scratch, and the technology offered everything we could.
So this was around 2017?
2017.
Okay. So when did it become very serious? See, this was the first customer that you got. You were trying a bit your hand around things, figuring it out. So when did you realize that, okay, this is going to be a serious business opportunity for us and we should kind of stick to it and go ahead with it? Like, what was that point? Did it take a long time or was it something you realized soon?
Yes, we started the company because thanks to Ignacio, we were part of a research program that the European Commission gives money to, and we were like the ICT partner, okay? We were there and collaborating with Acciona, which is one of the biggest company in Spain. And so we started like the company because we got a phone call like, hey, we need a partner to create an ICT platform for this concrete, for this specific project. So it's like, okay, we can do it. And for that, we need to start the company and everything. And that was the reason for starting the company. The project still took some months to start the development. So if it was the reason, it was not really our first client. Because our first client was a company which uses asphalt to create pavements on roads, and it was like a contact of one of us, and that company was like super old-fashioned in the sense that, well, this kind of business really don't deal with technology and everything. So we did some consultancy sessions, and we found out that there were so many specific processes that could be solved using Zoho Creator. For example, they needed an application to keep control of their dates so that no deadlines are passed without them doing specific tasks, or we build another application to try and help them control all the loans they have from banks. Or the most important application we created for this client was an application to manage their whole machinery park, in the sense they have like a lot of machines, a lot of trucks that go all the way through Spain, like creating asphalts for roads. And they had no control at all about the expenses and about how much money they earned with each machine. So we created I don't know if it's called an ERP for managing this machinery park, but it helped them control the expenses and to really know where machines were at every moment. So it was like a process of several months, like creating different applications in Zoho Creator, but like they completely changed how the company was dealing with digital transformation, and also was dealing with this kind of process that were a bit out of control before we came in.
So you mentioned about the different projects you have done. What was your journey with the Zoho team like? When did your partnership journey start, and how was that process, the learning curve with?
Yes, so when we discovered Zoho Creator, I mean, we had no idea of how the partnership worked and everything. So we started writing the support team, and probably it was like a form that they had to submit. Yeah, we want to become partners and everything. And for us, it was like, so this is how the partner program works, and this is what we get. These are like benefits and how the collaboration is. So for us, it was like everything else with this company, discovering step by step how everything worked. So for us, it felt super easy to become Zoho Creator partner programs. I mean, we needed to take some, I don't know if we're lessons, but we need to take like a test at the end. So it's like, okay, let's try and to do everything. And it's like, I remember like a guide in order to be able to use all the functionalities, and then to complete the tests. And it was like, well, we were like kind of nervous and says, will we pass this? Do we really know what we need to know for be Zoho Creator partners? And it turned out we did. So it was Jorge and me who first took the certification. From that on, we had to read like contracts and everything. And it's like, okay, this is how we start growing our company in Zoho Creator. But we got all kind of doubts, like, so do our client need to use or to create their own Zoho Creator account, or do we manage their application? So it was like, okay, I think that's the way. And keeping in touch with Zoho support and with our account manager at that point. it was like really helpful, and it's like, I know you should do that. Okay, thank you. So yeah, like baby steps until we we learn how to deal with everything.
Okay. So how is the responsibilities, divided among all three of you now? Like, what do you handle? What is Jorge and Ignacio handling now?
Jorge and me are more developers, right? Nacho has also done some developments as well, but since we at last need to specialize, it's Jorge and me who have developed more projects. Now I'm trying to switch a bit to sales, okay? Because we were doing like the three of us were doing like whole things, every step of the company. So since project development to project management to sales to marketing, so it was kind of crazy. So it took a time for us to structure and to really try to focus ourselves. Okay, so in this sense, I'm more focused on both consultancy and sales, and also I still do some kind of development. Jorge is more dedicated to projects and development, and Nacho is the one in charge of managing company, managing invoices, billings, and also managing projects. He's a Scrum Master, and he knows how to deal with project management. So at last, that's how we're dealing with things now.
Okay. And has the team grown since then? Do you have more people?
Yes. So it's been growing slowly, but nowadays we're 8 people, sorry. And yeah, we mostly have developers, and we have a couple of senior consultants as well that help us a lot, like to grow like in a pyramid, because we tend to be super horizontal and also be like really worried about our employees, but you need people to to help us not be so involved in everything, because that's one of the main problems we have, that we have been like that for 6 years and we really know how to do everything. So it's very difficult to try and not to be involved in all aspects of the company. So yeah, the team is now 8 people, and we're working all together and getting better at each step of the way.
That is good. So what are those aspects that you like about LowCode? When you work on a LowCode platform, what are those different things that you are very happy about?
So, well, for sure, the obvious one is the time to market. Sure. Like, I never had experience of developing an application using PHP or these kind of languages that, for sure, well, for what I've heard from friends, it took ages to develop any kind of applications. But for us, using Zoho Creator, it's super fast to try and create this MVP solution for the client that he could give us feedback about. So the interaction is great because he can perceive that there are so many improvements in so little time, right? So for that, we are very thankful for Zoho Creator because it helps us a lot in dealing with new functionalities and adapting to new requirements. So time to market for sure is very helpful. Also, the loose coding is also helpful because I think it's quite intuitive. I mean, you just look for something in the documentation and you can find there. So yeah, basically we have the feeling that we can build whatever we want. We have built lots of integrations like via API with third parties that seemed super difficult, but at last we managed them. So for that, we're also very thankful to Zoho Creator. And in general, we are thankful because it has allowed us to solve basically all our customers' problems. I mean, if we were more dedicated to a vertical, a specific tool like a CRM consultant or whatever, there are some limitations in this kind of tools. But with Zoho Creator, we can basically solve everything. It's true that some clients just need to improve their sales process, and of course they need a CRM. But thanks to the power of Zoho Creator and the loose coding, we can complement other Zoho services and really customize and improve the existing solutions thanks to this pieces that can be added to other Zoho tools.
Got it. Yeah, you mentioned about being able to cater to different kind of industries and customers. So what are some of the industries or verticals that you have worked with until now, just to get an idea on, the scope or the larger area that you've handled?
Yeah, so I think I'm going to talk about 2 projects, okay? And the first one, it was developed for a company with a multinational company. It has around 1,400 employees all over the world. And they came to us because they wanted a system to improve their relationship with their suppliers. Okay, so they had a problem that, this company, they basically do manufacturing of magnetic components, okay? So they have many suppliers they need to buy the raw materials from and then create the magnetic components. And they were having like a lot of issues with them because they never knew when the purchase order was going to be delivered, and there were delays, and there were like some errors, miscommunication. So they wanted to create a portal in Zoho Creator for improve the communication. The portal actually includes a customer portal, which is the functionality in Zoho Creator that allows external users to connect to the company application, right? So they wanted to create that portal to make suppliers access their portal and include the information they needed regarding POs, estimated dates for delivery, for arrival. So, and that was like a huge project for us. Like, wow, this is, at that time, it was like, wow, this is the biggest project we are going to build. And it works super smooth. We're very thankful to that company and to Juan and Claudia, the people that work there at that time. And really, the solution for us was like a major step. Like, wow, we can consider ourselves like a super experts in Zoho Creator, and it really helped improve the interactions of everything. So we keep that project really in good appreciation. And the other project, which is a project in which we are currently working now, it's a project for, I don't know how to say that in English correctly, but I think it's like car scrapping company, in which, it's a company that receives cars that are going to be basically destroyed, and they take some parts, some pieces out of the cars, and then they resell it, okay? So for them, they came to us because they have a problem in which they were using an old ERP, and they had like no connection between the cars they received and the pieces they needed to add to their inventory. So we created basically an ERP in Zoho Creator, which connect to third-party services and then bring information from these third-party services so that they know which pieces of the car are included on the car that has come to them, and they can by using different pages in Zoho Creator, they can select which pieces, which parts they want to take out of the car and incorporate to their inventory. So in this sense, it has changed the way of working for them, because previously they had to create like the items manually, but now they are automatically created. They select what they want, and then they can do the whole sales process thanks to that. The process has been also super challenging. It has a lot of third-party integrations, and we're still working with them. Also a project that we feel very proud of.
Okay, that's good to know. Are you still a part of that government in ICT? Are you still a partner in that way? And how do you get your leads? Is it through your channel? How do you get more customers?
So regarding the European project, it had a lifespan of 3.5 years. Okay. And so we developed the ICT platform, and in which it was kind of an IoT platform in which we obtain information from different sensors. And since the project was created for analyzing the performance of new materials that could self-heal, self-sense, or whatever. And it was like applied for 3 different industries. There was no communication. So our platform, the main intent of the platform was to create this channel of communication and of data sharing between the partners. So the partner from automotion needed to share data with the partner of the aeronautic sector. So they all uploaded their data to the platform, and we also used an integration with Zoho Analytics, and everything was visible, so they can compare the results they had with the same material in different industries. So that's what we really focused on that project, which, as I told you, ended like a year and a half ago. For us, it was super nice experience. We get the chance to meet partners all over Europe. We got to Brussels. We went to the building of the European Commission. I mean, for us, it was also quite nice. So the second question is like how we get leads and how we deal with that. So many leads from us come from previous customers, actually, or the same customer that needs to improve their tools. They basically come to us, or they recommend, or also we believe in collaboration between partners. So sometimes there's a partner that don't do Creator. So if they really feel that something needs to be addressed using Zoho Creator, they come to us, and of course we help them, and the collaboration is mutual. So I guess we are building this ecosystem around Pinout Solutions based on trust, on cooperation, and good relationships between each other, so that we get most leads. Some of the leads, of course, we get directly from our web, and it's like a combination of these three ways of getting the leads.
And most of your customer base, is it from Spain, or do you work with other countries also?
Yeah, most of them are based in Spain. The Spanish market is a bit particular because not many people in companies do speak in English. Okay. So they prefer to have a relationship with a local partner, in the sense that consultancy services, you need to be able to communicate what your problem is and what you want to solve. So that's why Spanish company don't feel super comfortable working with partners that don't speak Spanish. So mostly, yes, we've specialized in Spanish customers. We have a couple of international clients, but most of it's based in Spain. As of now, Who knows? Who can tell what tomorrow brings?
True, correct. Fun question. So what is your favorite feature in Creator?
My favorite feature in Creator? Well, as I told you, I always think that coding in the Lush is fun. But for feature, I think that regarding value to customers, I think it's like the customer portal. For me, it's like something that is very differential for the tool. And the option of have external customers connecting to the company applications, for me, it's great, and the price is super affordable for companies. So that's what I always try to enhance. But for sure, I feel that with Zoho Creator, we take so many things for granted. Like, I don't know if I told you, but like developing this application, I mean, all the user interfaces who have changed a lot since we started with Zoho Creator, right? These new user interfaces really help you to create this application and to really reduce, like I was saying before, the time to market. So both the Lush customer portal and the easy user interface that help you get to solutions, I think that makes Creator the best local solution.
Okay. So one last question. How do you think LowCode can help the Spanish market specifically? Like, how can it be a game changer? What is your take on it?
So I think LowCode now is going to change the paradigm when coming to applications development now, because previously it was like the IT department, the coders who needed to create solutions and get in touch with different departments, and like there was like frictions always between IT and the different departments, and because they didn't understand each other. But now that's changing because LowCode is allowing for citizen development, right? So anyone who doesn't really know a lot about coding can develop their own application. So if I'm a sales team person, I can really try to create an application that would help my day-to-day. How? Well, by learning these low-code tools. I mean, even if you don't know how to code, Zoho Creator offers you like a lot of functionality to try and create this application without a single line of coding. If you need probably like a more advanced automation, you may need to learn how to code, which is not that difficult if you have the logic in mind, because the Lush is quite user-friendly. Either you develop the code yourself, or you can come to an IT guy that maybe knows how to code and would help you with that. But the power now is more on the departments and on the IT people in this sense, right? So this makes them speak the same language now. Like, okay, I'm developing this application because I need that, and the IT guy can perceive that they are not super isolated in that, like the IT bubble, right? And so that having the same language is going to really help to improve the development of different business apps and different processes that can be automated, a lot of time saving, error reduction. So I think it's basically how applications are going to be developed. I don't know in how long, but it wouldn't make any sense for me to go to start a development from scratch without using this low-code application, because there's not really that much you can win. I mean, there are so many advantages of using low-code applications or Zoho Creator specifically that, I mean, that's what the future should be like, I think.
Okay. So we hope that this changing landscapes kind of increase your business and your business grows. But thank you so much for joining us today. It's been a great conversation.
Thank you very much for inviting. It's a pleasure for me too.
Yeah. Thank you.